Hold up.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and I want to talk a little bit and update the controversy surrounding Superman, son of Kal-El. I also want to talk about the new Amazonian in Nubia and the Amazons, which I did review, so I will put that in the pinned comment, along with a couple other videos going over some of the sales figures that I am going to very quickly go over. Now, I did get a comment yesterday, I believe, and it was from Lazarus Wolf 666. Thank you, by the way, saying, did I hear about the news that Son of Kal-El number 1 through 4 is getting another printing? And actually, number 1 is on its third print, and 5 is sold out of pre-orders. I didn't know this at the time, so I want to address it now. But there is a bunch of pre-orders. We are going to look at numbers. There is a bunch of reprints coming out. I do imagine that at least issue 1 and 5, if you do not have them already in print form, they will be highly hard to get for a while. Maybe not. I'm just sure at some point, at least 5 and 1 will be a key and probably go up in price, right? So I want to talk about that. But I also want to talk actual sales numbers, and that's what we're going to do right now. Now, with these sales numbers, I want to, again, I got all of these from Comic-Con. These are all, to the best of the ability, these are perfectly good sales numbers. And I don't know why I'm justifying that, but some people don't believe that Comic-Con is sales numbers, and it's just this weird skepticism out there. These are sales numbers. All right, we're moving on, right? I actually compared them. And I compared them to the most recent stuff or something similar. So I put in, of course, we have Jon Kent. We have Bendis. His first issue was Action Comics 1000. And if you remember at the time, he was doing Man of Steel, which was a 6-part mini. He was doing Action Comics and Superman comics, right? Bendis is coming. Everyone was so excited for those sales to plummet. Unfortunately so. But number 1 did okay, and then it went down substantially. Now, as far as the Rebirth Superman by Peter J. Tomasi, that actually barely went down, only a couple thousand units, which is really awesome. But I only have the sales numbers for 1 and 2 right now. 3 are not out yet. They probably won't be for a few weeks. So what we're looking at here is, looks like Jon Kent, son of Kal-El, isn't doing so well, right? What are these unprecedented orders? Well, you have to remember these sales numbers. And number 1 looks like it's about 68,000. Don't include any of the reprints that I've just talked about. The reason why I'm able to get numbers for the reprints from previous is because they are old. So it's likely that we will see that 68,000 rise to at least the same level as Rebirth Superman. Probably, honestly, above it, just because it is getting so much media attention and it is getting just people, I don't know necessarily interested, but they definitely want that number 1. I'm guessing it'll probably rise quite a bit above Rebirth, so maybe 120,000. I don't know. These are my guesstimations. Now, as far as what we're seeing with it going forward, it's likely going to be cemented. I don't know. My theory right now at this point is because of the outrage, because of everyone getting upset, this is likely cemented this. There was a crisis in Loom. They could still redo it, but because the sales are, beforehand, it looked like they were going to settle at about 40,000. Now it's likely going to be quite a bit above that. And I think a lot of that is due to outrage and, of course, media attention, right? So it's likely going to go on for quite some time. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But that's a theory. You can't argue with the factual sales numbers, right? So with this being said, we are seeing a lot coming out from the likes of DC Comics, basically coming out and saying, yeah, this is doing really great. This is doing well. And we're going to put something out there that says it's doing really well. It's unprecedented orders. And I'm curious to see where those numbers lie, but we won't know for a while yet. So it is doing, honestly, better than expected. That's the best way I can say it. It is time to update the issue with Gabe El-Taib. Now, with Gabe El-Taib, and I have the wrong picture up, so we'll just talk about it. He has been replaced, and all of his issues will be recolored. All of his issues will be recolored from, my guess, is because of him, for one, giving out secrets like the coming out issue. It is likely because of that. It's pretty vindictive. But you also can understand it. It was something they were holding off on, and because of him, it was out there in the media and it was getting attention. It is likely that is why they are recoloring it, because they don't want to pay him royalties. I'm just being real here. So, all right, we've got Hi-Fi on it, and that is a husband and wife team that do coloring, and they've got the picture already done. They added some bisexual lighting. I think it makes them stand out a little bit more. It is a little, I guess, muted in a way, but it does feel like at least it separates the foreground from the background. But either way, there was no issue with Gabe El-Taib's coloring. It's fantastic. That's not the point. It was the fact that he went on to a live stream and leaked details and dissed the company. Well, that cost him his job. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the last issue. Or not even an issue. So I reviewed this and I didn't see the undertones. I didn't notice it personally, but right now we are seeing the first trans woman in continuity. Continuity. That's important, right? In Nubia and the Amazons. Her name is Bia. They didn't allude to it too much, or I think I would have picked up on it. And also, they didn't put out a press conference. And I actually got to give credit where it's due. When it came to Jonathan Kent's sexuality, they put out a press conference on Bi Visibility Day. They knew what they were doing. Or I'm sorry, was it coming out day? I'm not sure. They knew what they were doing. They were, and this has been my problem all along, using Jonathan Kent's sexuality to sell comics, for one, and in a weird way, and exploiting it for clout, right? Nothing along that lines with this. Nobody even knew that there was a trans Amazonian until somebody asked Stephanie Williams on her social media, and she said, yeah, there is, and her name's Bia, and that was it. And then it got picked up, of course, by the media and people like me, but yeah, that's not an issue. The whole point of transitioning is to become from one to the other. Most trans people I know all want to be called the sex they prefer. So what do? This is a woman. It is that simple. Not only that, but this isn't the first time we've seen this, right? We've seen it, and I did review Wonder Woman Earth 1, all 3 volumes. That was a hell of an edit. Yeah, I did that a long time ago. I actually would like to go back over and read it at some point because I was reading it under a very cynical eye. But even so, they talk about it, and there it is brought up. And then you also see it on Justice League War. So this isn't something new to continuity, yes. So even so, I don't see an issue with it. It wasn't made into a media parade, which I can personally appreciate as somebody who not only does YouTube, but just as a comic fan. Like, it gets irritating to see all the backlash sometimes for really silly things. And when you don't parade it around in the media, you don't get the backlash. But then again, that backlash may have cemented Jon as our Superman going forward. So there's pros and cons to everything. But we got a new colorist, got a new Amazonian, and the world's gonna end. Pretty good day. Anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about either one of these. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.